We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
For the hope, you gotta have
What's happening, everybody? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire, and oh boy, we are so live, and we are real. Okay, y'all know how we always do. We are so live up in the house, and we are so live, talking with you. Hey, as I start every single show, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, right? Y'all know I love you. You know I love you, and you know that every single time that we come here, that I come here to this show, it's because of you. So big shout outs to my crew. Miss Lizanna Smith is out there doing some work, getting us some more information, bringing us some special guests up in the house. So big shout outs to Miss Lizanna Smith. And of course, big shout outs to Mr. Kevin the Jeweler. We appreciate you, Mr. Kevin the Jeweler, for all of the hot topics. So, of course, everybody, you know we have a very special show today. Of course, I say that every time that we come on because we do. We're going to be educating y'all on the music industry with some very special guests in the house. So what we're going to do, like we always do, is we're going to go into a little songity song real fast. We're going to go to a little songity song, and then once we come back, we're going to take you into this very special guest because I think what this guy has to offer, I've been knowing him for quite some time now, and it's a blessing to be friends and to be cool with him. Of course, we're going to connect a little bit more, but I want to be able to get some information from him on how to do it, how to write the hit song, how to do it, because if anybody knows how to do it, this man definitely knows how to do it. So, without any further ado, I'm going to take y'all straight into my next little songity song real quick. So I love you, right? Y'all know I love you, each and every single one of you. I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire, right here on LATalkLive.com and Love 92.3 FM. I love y'all, and we're gonna be right back with this next songity song.
Yeah. Tonight, look at my clothes, I'm looking out of sight. My body's banging like a stereo. Best turn me down before the speakers blow. I'm so ready to go, and I'm looking for my favorite place up on the dance floor. You better make some space before I explode. I see you watching me, I know you want more. Body's moving out of control. I can tell my body is ready for the music. It's looking for a workout, and I just wanna use it. Love is really packed now, and I'm about to lose it. Need a little space against the wall. Watch me do it. Watch me work the wall. 'Cause it plays my song and the feeling's too strong. Watch me work the wall. 'Cause I'm in my zone and the beat goes on and on. Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. Work it, work it, work it. Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. Work it, work it, work it. Watch me work it. This hour, I'm feeling like I got all of the power. I'm feeling like I can do anything. I'll knock you out if you step in my rain. Just let me do my thing, yeah. I can tell my body is ready for the music. Yeah. Looking for a workout, and I just wanna use it. Yeah. Love is really packed now, and I'm about to lose it. I need a little space against the wall. Watch me do it. Watch me work the wall. 'Cause they're playing my song, and the feeling's too strong.
I wasted my time waiting on you to arrive, and you never show, you didn't care. It is what it is, yeah, it is what it is. It's been a long time coming. I've been dealing with your for quite some time. You said that you were changing. Oh, guess what? I changed my mind. Little baby, don't you cry. I know it was the best thing in your life. Little baby, don't shed a I know that you was wishing I was still riding. Little baby, don't you cry. No one was the best thing in your life. Little baby, don't shed a tear. I know that you was wishing I was still right here. You want no itty bitty boy, little bitty boy. Can't love an itty bitty boy, little bitty boy. I need a lover man. Wanna treat me like no other man. So baby, baby, man up, man up, man up, man up, man up, man up, yeah. I'm looking for a lover man. Wanna treat me like no other man. So baby, baby, man up. I'm plenty of fine, and I can get a new man anytime. But I plan for waiting on you. Shame on me, cause you never came through. It's been a long time coming, and to give a second chance, I'll be out of my mind. Who said it would be easy? But Lord have mercy, I'm done completely. Little baby, don't you cry. I know it was the best thing in your life. Little baby, don't shed a tear. Know that you was wishing I was still riding. Little baby, don't you cry. I know it was the best thing in your life. Little baby, don't shed a tear. I know that you was wishing I was still riding. You want an itty bitty boy, little bitty boy. Can't love an itty bitty boy, little bitty boy. I need a lover man. Wanna treat me like no other.
What's going down, baby? What's happening, everybody? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire. Okay, so we are so live and we are so back. And so, like, with any further ado, like I was telling y'all before we went to the little songity song, of course, by my two great Greek groups, Breaking Day and also Perfect Harmony. Big shout outs to those young ladies. But definitely we want to bring into the house, of course, today a very special individual that is definitely making history. And of course, y'all know I love my experts. You know I love folks that has conquered this game and has an understanding and has a formula, and they willing to teach this formula to folks. Now, it ain't always free, so we're gonna see what we can pull out of him today for y'all, because y'all know what I'm saying. We're gonna get the exclusive. But definitely I want to give a big shout out and a warm welcome in the house to this very special guest, singer, songwriter, producer, working with some of the best artists out here and really branding folks. I'm talking about Chris Brown. We're talking about Usher, Rihanna, Kelly Rowland. I mean, this young man is actually moving and shaking and putting his hands in a lot of different places that count. Without no further ado, I want to bring into you a very special guest, Mr. Andre Merritt. What's going down, my brother? Welcome to the show. What's going on? And welcome.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, man, for coming in. So what's going down, man? Welcome. How you doing? How's your day? How's your Sunday?
It was good. It was a little busy. You know, I had a little lunch and all that, but yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, you know, we've been trying to get you up in here quite some time now. Okay.
Yeah.
So we want to give big shout outs to your manager for being able to allow it to happen. It was just like perfect. I seen you at the gym going in, then as soon as I finished chit-chatting with you, I turn around and I see him and I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
daddy else.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the best way to do it. And I like doing it that way because we get the job done. Exactly. So, man, let's start off. Let's go ahead and get into you a little bit, because for the audience that may not know exactly who you are, a lot of times people, when they hear the songs and they hear these records out, they don't always get a chance to know who is the people producing them. I mean, most folks think that when a person writes a song or sings a song on the radio, they sung it or they wrote it or they are part of everything. And there's really a team behind it. So what I want to do was take us back. Where you from?
I was born. I was born. No,
yes.
I was born in Compton, California.
Compton. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Long time.
And so now, how do someone from Compton? How does this come about? Were you writing on your own? Like, were you just jotting all the time? How did you start getting into the writing game?
No, I basically started. It started in school, basically. Just writing poetry.
Okay.
And I was a big poetry. I was a big English buff in school. Like, that was probably one of the only good subjects that I was.
That you was good in. You knew how to write.
Yeah, I knew how to write. So, not a good speller though, but I could write.
Okay.
No, but
spell check. Thank God for the computers today.
Yeah. So I just do that, and I always sung like in church and all that, and then somebody gave me a good idea to like maybe start combining the two, like writing poetry but then writing songs, and so I was like, I'll try it. You know? And so it just started from there.
So, okay, you say you started singing in the church.
Yeah.
Okay, so how old were you when you got up and you started singing in the church?
Oh man, probably like my grandma took me.
Yeah, grandma.
So it's probably like 4.
So about 4, so they could tell you could hold a note.
Yeah, they
All
were
right.
like, you know, that baby can sing.
That baby
you
can
know?
say, right. So
Yeah.
now I just take us. Do you remember your first experience? Because I mean, most people
Yep.
remember when they first get in front of a crowd.
I definitely remember.
Take us to that
That
point.
was the scariest thing ever. Because all I saw was choir robes, and I had to sing Whitney Houston, I Believe the Children Are Our Future.
Oh
And
boy,
I don't remember how I sounded, but I remember I did it.
you did it.
And everybody clapped, so I'm guessing it was good.
You
so.
guessing it was good, and
Yeah.
from there now you get off the stage, and now you remember what you were thinking after it was over. Like,
I was glad to be off.
glad to be off.
Yeah, I was glad to be off because it was just, you know, when you're young and you're in church has always been that sanctuary where you going like, shut up, don't you be talking.
Right.
Here, take this mint. You know? So to be able to actually go and then have people, you know, be able to, you can do stuff this time. So I'm like, oh, it's me.
Right.
You know, so that's pretty much what it was. But it was cool. It was a good experience. But I you know, practice make perfect. So
Practice makes perfect. So now, tell us about the writing process. When did you know that your poems can actually become songs? How old were you when you knew that, hey, this could actually be a song? Like, this could be, somebody can actually sing this. Or did you start off singing these things? How did it work?
yeah, I mean, I was a singer first.
Right.
I didn't. Writing came later. Like I started
okay.
off really much singing and I didn't know anything about writing or anything.
Mm.
I just wrote, you know, poems and stuff just because, you know, when you're bored and you're young,
That's what you
gotta
do.
Yeah, you do something. So
Right.
I didn't really get into writing heavily until I was like maybe 13. I think that's when I wrote my first song.
First song.
Yeah, and I just, you know, it was horrible.
Uh-huh.
And it's like anything
Okay.
else. Yeah,
Right.
I could be honest and be like, yeah, it was a horrible song. You know,
What did you write it about? Do you remember? Love.
Yeah, love. Love is all I knew that you write, you know, love songs.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, did you have like that one person that was always in your corner that always thought all your stuff was good? Or was there always somebody that
My
kept
grandma.
it real? So she thought everything
She
was
thought
good.
everything I could do no wrong. My grandma was like, you amazing.
Right. You are amazing. Okay, so now transition into, when did you actually say, okay, this could actually be a career? Take us into that part. Where were you and how old were you?
It probably was around when I was like 15. I went to I had transferred to high school in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And so my grandmother, again, she was just like, well, you like singing so much and writing and all that, you should probably try to go to Las Vegas Academy. And it was like an academy out there where, you know, kids who like to do music and act and all that would go to. And Neo actually went there as well.
Okay.
So I've been knowing Neo for a long time as well, who's been writing. So
Right.
we both attended that school. And, you know, I don't think I learned that much from going there. I think I just like the fact that you get like a whole free hour, like a class of just to do music, and you just didn't have to do schoolwork.
Huh.
So that was kind of like what I enjoyed. But music, it was just natural, you know. I mean, to be around people that everybody's singing, everybody is, you know, they used to do this thing called a pop concert. So we would all be like, oh, we're going to sing, you know, this for the pop concert, or we're going to do this and do that. And so that's what it just, that's the reason why I like going to the school.
Right.
And so I just went there, and then that's when I started getting better and listening to people like Babyface. And, you know, Babyface was a big influence on me, as well as Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Stevie Wonder. So I would listen to those songs and try
Now,
to...
were they more from the singing aspect or the writing aspect?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, me personally, I just feel like they go hand in hand. To me, I feel like, because I know there are writers that just write and they don't sing.
Right,
you know, but
right.
I feel like the people that really, you know, do work and affect people and touch people are people who write and sing. Bruno Mars, you
Right.
know, Chris Brown, you know, Beyonce, everybody.
Okay, now is it the better transition, not to go too quick, is it the better transition for an artist that's wanting to get out and make, you know, to start writing first and then sing like demos, to then, you know, like a Neo, like yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though you start off as an artist first, but then I guess the biggest success came from the writing,
yeah.
right now anyway.
Yeah.
And then the artist, is it an easier transition?
No.
No,
it's not.
Why
I
not?
feel like just go with whatever is working for you at the moment. If the artist thing is working, go with that. If the writing thing is, then go with that. I mean, I feel like it's hard regardless. I mean, there's a million writers, there's a million singers. So finding that niche and finding that balance is, and then finding people who want to hear. You know, it's like I always tell people, it's not about what you do, it's who wants to hear what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just because somebody might not like it doesn't mean that the next person might. So the only thing you got to do is just make sure that you're getting better at whichever one you're doing, whether you're being an artist, whether you're being a writer, or both.
Okay. So now a young guy that grows up in Compton and wants to pursue a music career, how realistic did that sound when you actually said, I want to do it for real?
Not very real. It didn't sound very realistic it was realistic to me.
Right.
My mom and my dad, they didn't see us.
It's just like, you want to do what?
What? They like, yeah. How many people want to? You need to get. Well, you going to school? You going to job? You got to, So I don't think anyone's dream is ever realistic to anyone but that person.
Okay, let's go into that because again, sometimes some of your biggest supporters, I know you had your granny, but then when you come home and then you have mom Dukes, dad Dukes that maybe just don't understand, how do you get them to understand when you still have to be up under their roof? Or was this something that you did after? How did it work?
It was under their roof. I mean, you can't really get them to understand. Only thing you can do is just keep doing it and getting better and not letting no one stop you, not even yourself. So the thing about it is like, you gotta, me, I made up my mind, like my mom lived her life, my dad lives his. It just so happens that I gotta stay here while I'm trying to get to mine. But I mean, you my mom, my dad, I'm gonna stay here. This one I'm gonna stay.
I can dig that. So now the journey, tell us when you decide, okay, so you decide to take it, I wanna do this full time. This is this, I got something. I can actually write. Who told you can actually write and that your stuff was good and other artists would actually like it? Who told you that?
I mean, I think it was a mix.
Okay.
I think it was a mix of me kind of coming into my own and knowing. And I've always been like really, really not sure of myself, but I just, when it comes to music, I felt like that's just one of the things that I just knew.
You got that.
And I don't know where it came from. I just kind of felt it. Like, like it's so weird. I always tell people, I think I always had a knack for knowing when something was whack. So I would, and I'm my biggest critic. Like I would just listen, and that's what I would do. What my thing would help me out is that I would write songs, and then I would stack it up to like songs that are on the radio, and I'd be like, okay, did that go? Yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, mine sound like it's about as good, and then I would ask other people that I trusted, like, or people that I admired, that I could get to, because that's hard to get to people that are doing, that's another obstacle a lot of people starting off face is actually getting to other writers who are willing to actually help you, or mentor you in a way. And I mean, there's a couple of people. There's a writer by the name of Freckles.
Okay.
And I back in the day, like I used to ask her, like, hey, what do you, because I liked her writing style, and I thought that she was dope, and she'd be like, yeah, you're dope, this and that, and and it just kept growing from there. Like anybody that I could get around, anybody that I admired, I was around them, I would ask them like, yeah, I got the song, tell me what you think. And people would be like, yeah, I like it, or you should make the hook stronger, or the verse is good but the pre-hook is, and so I just started taking that into consideration and carving my own little thing. Yeah.
Okay, so now this is the question that pops up in my head. Now, when you're saying writing, now are you taking people just the pen and paper, or are you taking them something that you've recorded inside of a track and they're actually able to hear it, or is it a combination of both?
A combination of both. It depends on how far I got with the song. Like if I might just have a melody or a concept, and I would sing the concept. That's why I say it's a plus being able to sing, because I could sing you like, well, I got this idea. Tell me if you like it. And if I didn't have it recorded, I could sing it. Or I might have a rough recording and I let them hear that. Or I might have a verse or a pre-hook, so stuff like that.
So now let me ask you this. When you sing, do you think about what it's going to sound like in your head before it comes out, or is it kind of unconsciously just comes out? Like, do you hear it first and then you sing it the way you hear it?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes. The process for me, especially my process, is very different. Like, it varies. Like, sometimes I'll have the whole song and I can go in and be like, oh, I know how this goes. And then sometimes I won't know what the song is going to be about. And I kind of enjoy those moments better because that's when you have to. I look at it as a puzzle,
Raw,
and you just go into and so I think like the first thing you say is usually like the best thing.
That's
and
like freestyle.
Yeah.
So freestyle singing. So you can freestyle sing. I guess because you're a writer, so I guess it's no different than being able. Do you write rap also?
Yeah, I write like rap hooks and raps and all that. Yeah.
Now I know you see like singer start like Chris Brown, like Drake that have that space where they're singing a little bit and rapping a little bit like a Nicki Minaj. Is that an easy process? Because you see it happen. You saw Monica do it at one point. Or,
yeah.
It's like what?
Brandy, they were all
right. Everybody trying to do a little freestyle verse. Is that the thing to do?
No, not if you don't know how to do that. No, I mean, I feel. You know what? I think it depends on the song.
Okay.
Like, I feel like when you listen to Chris Brown's "Look at Me Now," like it was just a dope idea. Sometimes you have these things in music called moments. And that was just a good moment. Like it fit. Sometimes it just all worked. Right. It's like that magic where you're like, dang, that was, yellow, motto. I mean, it just worked. It was kind of like, yeah, that's it. That's what it needed.
Okay.
So I feel like that. I feel like if you can do it, I'm not saying don't do it, but if you can do it and you do it well, then go for it. If you're doing it and people are like, man, you should really just stick to singing. You should really stick to singing.
So now now this is just a sidebar. Okay, because of course, all these singing competitions are on all the time and this happens. What is your opinion, being an artist and a writer and listening to these singing competitions and this new breed of artists that, could make it? What's your opinion on that whole
it's varied
talent thing?
It's varied from the beginning. In the beginning, I thought it was kind of dope to have stuff like American Idol and The Voice and all these different things, and I think it was a great platform. I still think it's a good platform for people who, if you're from Idaho, or you're from Nebraska,
right?
The
like
chances
Carrie
of
Underwood,
there's the chances of you getting to a major market where someone can even see your talent is slim to none. So, I mean, in that aspect, I say it's all, in the fan of Carrie Underwood, she's amazing.
Right.
So that's dope. My thing is, I don't like when the shows make it look like anyone can do it. Right. Because anyone can do it, and it is special, and it does take. There have been people that have come from the YouTube era or these type of situations, and they've done horribly.
Right.
They've had all these views and the album come out. I ain't gonna mention no names.
Right.
And, and it don't go well. Then you've had one that was amazing, which was Justin Bieber.
Right.
And Bieber he's a good artist. He don't blow me away. But I like Justin Bieber.
Right.
For what he is and what he's
what he caters to.
Yeah, what he caters to.
Right.
It works for him. But as far as like a lot of the shows, I feel like they're starting to make it like, oh yeah, you want to be a singer? Yeah, anybody can do that. Just get up and do that. And it's funny because on those shows, the best part of the shows are the horrible people.
Wow.
You never really like to watch it because of the talent. So in a way, it kind of, to me, takes a little bit from it. And it takes away from the mystique of what we do. I think that it makes it uninteresting for people sometimes, and it makes them look at it like, well, yeah, I could do that. Anybody could do that. My cousin's a singer, and my sister's a writer. She's a rapper, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean just because you can write and sing doesn't mean you should do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta love it, and it's just a lot to go into it. But if you go on American Idol and you make it and you get a career from it, then God bless you. Like I'm not gonna if you're making great music, because it's hard out here. So if you're doing it and you're doing it well, I hats off to you. I'm just saying,
How important do you think it is of the story? Because you also see in that situation nowadays, you see their whole life story involved. Yeah. And you see sometimes they can be horrible, but yet the ones that have a good story or some sort of situation, they let that hang a little longer.
Yeah.
Is that reality in the industry your story? How much does it matter?
Yeah, I think even more so now than ever because of social networking and stuff like that, people are now into lifestyle. So now, before fans would just, wonder like, well, what they do, what they like to eat, where do they go, where do they work out.
Right.
Now they know. Now it's kind of almost expected. It's kind of like if you don't, you're being like snotty or snooty. They're like, oh, they too private. They don't want you to see. You know what I'm saying? So now, that's a selling point. People want to know what you're doing. They want to know where you eat, how you brush your teeth, like what shows you like, what movie, So I think it goes hand in hand now, especially more so now than ever. Like the fans have become smarter.
Right. Yes, I can definitely dig that. So now let's just, I know that was our little sidebar, folks. So we're gonna jump straight back into, because I always like to know. Of course, we see the success now, but I'm always curious to know what happened before the success. Like, what were you doing before this time frame? So you're a great writer. You have a great voice, and of course, when you have that talent, and of course, you were still in an era where there was all these shows still popping up and coming out. Did you ever do any?
No, I had an audition to do one. I think it was like, I never did it though, but I was supposed to go.
You were supposed to do it.
Yeah, I didn't go. I was just like, I don't know. It was just something I was like, I don't want to go.
Right.
Like, I was like, I remember waking up and I was like, I'm gonna go, and then I was sitting there and I was like,
now this is regular Merritt.
Yeah, this regular. This before anything. And that's what I say. It's that thing of knowing when you're gonna, you kind of start to, feel it out a little bit, knowing what you're trying to do. And people used to, excuse me, they would tell me all the time, oh, you should try out for American Idol or do this and that. And I just feel like it's one of those canceling statements, kind of like, do something, because you ain't doing nothing in front of here.
Right.
You need to do something. I don't know. You need some help.
Right.
So I just, I did everything from driving valeting cars to driving a school bus.
Wow,
to
not a school bus. A big yellow school bus or the short school bus.
I was driving people, the big one.
Yeah,
I had people's children's lives.
What? You gotta have a special license for that.
Yeah, you gotta have Class B.
Right.
You got Class B with no tickets. You gotta. Yeah. So yeah, I did that. I did everything that I had to do so that I could do my dream, so that I could chase my dream. And that's why I feel like when people give me stories, it's hard for me, those sob stories, it's hard for me to have sympathy for them, because I'm like, I was there. I've been you. I was you. I was you 8 years ago. Like, I was you, not knowing how I'm gonna pay my car note, not knowing where I'm gonna live, how this food gonna get, I was that person.
So you did the starving artist.
Yeah, definitely starved.
Ever been homeless? Almost?
Yeah, definitely been homeless a few times.
A few times during that process,
few
still
times.
singing and writing about it?
Still singing. I would not let that deter me. The hair wasn't cut.
Wow.
No. I just you have to get to a point sometimes in this industry when you're chasing your dream, and I always call it as like, creative tunnel vision. And where you just kind of like, this whole world could fall down in front of me and I'm still gonna look dead ahead at what I need to do and get done. And that's what I had to do. A lot of people say, yeah, I want it so bad, and I'm gonna do, but you're not doing what it takes to get it.
Right.
Like, you looking and I'm watching you, and we starting at the same place, except I'm still
grinding,
progressing.
pushing.
Yeah. And so.
Okay, so let me ask you this: there's always a time in our situations to where we're right when we're that threshold is about to happen, and that seal is about to break, but yet there is something that takes place to where you feel like I was almost about to give up. And I pushed on. I was like right there questioning, like, man, is this worth it? Maybe I'll go home. Maybe. Was there ever a moment in your time where it was right there and you almost said, okay, this may be a little much. Maybe I'll do something different and come back, and then it broke. Tell us about that.
That, it's funny. That still happens today.
Oh, wow. So you go through that moment.
Yeah, you have moments. But I've had a few moments like that. I think one was like finding management. Like, that's part of it. I always tell people, like, I think Meek Mills have a song called "There's Levels to It."
Right.
And, everybody starts on this level where it's like you have all these people that are claiming that they're, this person, and they know this person, and you go and you're looking, and you're like, well, where is it? I'm doing what you said. I'm writing songs. I'm doing, and I'm still not progressing. Like, what is it? And then you have people that break your spirit, and that's pretty much what it is. A lot of it has to do with that, and then the support of your family. Like, sometimes, when you look at when your mom, your dad, as a child or as a kid, you want to make your parents proud. You don't want them to say, you know, when people, oh, what Andre doing? He's still doing that music thing.
Right.
You know, we just bearing with him.
Right.
You know, so that's tough. That makes you, and on top of the competitiveness and make sure that you're good and making sure that you continue to put out hot music, that's a lot of pressure. So sometimes you just have them days where you're like, man, I could go back to school.
Right.
School's not that bad.
Not that bad compared to, you say financial aid?
Hey, financial, because I cannot get some of it.
Right. Okay, I can definitely dig that. So now, the ceiling breaks. It breaks. Tell us about that. What was it that made it happen to where you got the first real artist that you worked with? Who was that first artist that you connected and you said, okay, this thing is moving, like momentum's happening? What was it?
Mine was a little different. I think I was kind of like just floating around trying to pretty much find, anything. I started doing like independent artists, people that were, had like independent, record deals nobody was really working on, and so I would start there, getting my foot in, writing, and they was, hanging out at studios that I could get into, and it was really, because it's no right way to do it. I think a lot of it has to do with, being in the right place at the right time, as well as being talented and being able to show and prove what you can do for people. So I think my biggest, what happened for me, I started working with Will Smith. That was like my introduction into it, and I was writing hooks for him.
Oh. Yeah,
writing hooks for him, and got really cool with him, and that led for me to work with his kids. Like I vocal produced for Willow Smith.
Okay.
And wrote on her album as well.
Awesome.
And and just became cool. And I think that was a really dope situation to meet him and meet a person like Will, who is this mega star,
right?
And is so humble and down to earth. And
yes, he is.
So I was just really cool. And that was dope for me. Like, just to be in that presence. I'm like, oh snap! I'm like, this is Will Smith, and I'm writing for his album. I'm like, this is crazy. So that was kind of like my introduction into it, and I just kind of took it from there.
So now you get Will Smith. Is it one of those things to where once you get in, it's like a snowball effect? It just keeps happening. Is that how it is, or do you have to keep working?
You have to keep working.
Every opportunity.
Yes, you have to keep working. Like it could be like that where you keep going, but you really have to work, because once you get thrown in the lions, then you got to fight.
Right.
So at that point, it's kind of like, all right, once I was in there, I'm like, because my motto was always saying is like, all they got to do is let me get
your foot in
there.
Let
me get in there, and I'm going, because that's really what it is. It's validation. Like, the industry is basically about validation, pretty much. When you're working, if you're working with Joe Blow, everybody's like, yeah, you're good. And that same song, that's okay with Joe Blow, but if it's on a Will Smith or someone, it's kind of like, that's an amazing song.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it was amazing before he did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like, and that's where it goes back to saying, finding people who want, what you have to offer. If nobody's not checking for you, then you'll be there all day trying to sell them your ideas or your songs. Like,
I can dig that. Now, do people usually keep the same writing teams their career? Does that happen these days?
The smart ones do.
So is that a smart, like, same producers, same writers, the same team? Is that the best way?
If you've had great success with those writers and producers, why change it? Why change? Why and you use that until it goes out, and over time it's shown that Janet Jackson and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Dream and Tricky, with like Beyonce, it goes on. Like, I feel like I'm that for Chris Brown. Like, some people just have those
that click.
It just works. It doesn't matter. Like, he could work with anybody. They can't give him what we'll create.
Correct. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not even being, I'm not I'm not being rude, and I'm just being real. Like I know who I am. I know what I do, and so that's just what it is. And I dare somebody to say something.
I dare you.
I dare somebody to come and challenge me.
Right. No, I can dig it. What makes a hit song? What are the elements? When did you find that out? When did you know what the elements were that made a hit song?
I think the elements they change, but I think the core things are just one thing. It has to be memorable.
Right.
I feel like it has to strike an emotional chord with people, a mass of people. Like it has to. I think it has to do with what's going on in the world or in that person's life at the time. And, and that means a wave of people have to kind of be in the same mind frame as everyone else. Like when you get albums like Confessions by Usher or Adele's last album, you know, that's a movement. Like that, that's a, you know, that's like a church type of feeling, like where it's like at that moment she pretty much touched a lot of people in the world at the same time.
Right.
For people to go out and buy 30 million records when people are not even buying records right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different thing. So to me, what makes a hit song has those factors, but on a more basic and general, it's just having a catchy hooks, catchy lyrics, stuff that people can sing along to. You know, if you notice, most big songs, anybody can sing them. You could be a 5. I always say the best test is the toddler test. Because if a toddler can sing your song, anybody, because kids, their attention span is like, so if you can keep them, interested, you got something.
You got something if you can keep them interested.
Yeah.
Now, this is one thing that I used to always hear. Now, the truth in songs when it comes down to artists and people finding the right songs and, and people thinking, did that really happen? Or is it just a story you're telling? Tell us about that, the difference between the truth and just telling a story and singing a song.
I mean, it depends on the artist. There are some artists that are really personable. They want to tell the story, so some of it is real,
right?
And then there's some who are just good interpreters. Like they could take your story and just make you believe it's theirs. There's some I get it from both aspects. I know some people that really write from their own life experience, like someone as a Lauryn Hill. Like that's her. What she's giving you, that's what she's talking about. And then you have other people like Whitney Houston, who's just a great. She's a great canvas. Like she can paint any picture with your song. Like you'll be like, you went through that, and she'll be like, I'm Whitney Houston.
Right, like a great actress.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, do you have to be? Because of course, videos you go into the acting. Is acting a thing that an artist that wants to be an actual singer, actually in the public eye, should they take acting classes? Is that a beneficial thing?
I think so.
Why?
I really do, because even me, for instance, like. It's like one of those things like where you're so creative, you kind of have so much that you want to do, and I feel like acting kind of puts it in place for you. Like with me, I'm one of the people, I have so much, I'm like, I want to do this, I got this, and I forget to actually do, be an artist.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, wait, I don't have to do that like that. I can just do this because, and I feel like acting classes helps you. It helps you kind of get out of your shells, shake it off a little bit. Yeah.
Now, I remember Beyonce saying something about she puts on like a Sasha Fierce, of course.
Ego. Alter ego.
And then, of course, as she's gotten a little bit longer into it, she says she doesn't have to use it as long. Do you recommend these things? Did you use one? Or what is your opinion on bringing on something else to get the job done?
Yeah, I feel like whatever it takes for you to connect with your audience and with the people that you're trying to get, your point across to, I say do it. If you need an alter ego, you be Sasha and Masha and Hasha Fierce, and you can be Danny Dynamite. I don't know.
Whoever you want to be.
Yeah, whoever you want. Whatever gets the job done, so that when that final product hits, whatever, wherever it's supposed to be, whatever media, we're like, yo, that's dope.
Right. Okay. I can dig that. Everybody, we're still right here. Of course, we're right here. I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire, in the house with producer, songwriter, should I say mega producer, songwriter, and singer. We have Mr. Andre Merritt in the house. Of course, I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire. This is still Love 92.3 LA Talk Live. So we're going to jump right back in. There's so many artists that are out here that are writing these songs. When should you go get your songs registered? BMI, CSAC, ASCAP. When? And how does it work?
As soon as you can.
Tell us about that process.
I'm not.
In your opinion.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with how ASCAP does it now, but I remember when I first signed up, you had to have something out before you could register a song, which I felt like was almost impossible because you can't. I'm just starting out, so I don't have anything out. But I do want to protect my work. But what I did, and I don't know if people still did this, but we did this thing called a poor man copyright, which I don't know how that works, being that. Lyrics aren't what people really steal. It's more so it's more so melody and, and musical talk. So, what I used to do is write my songs and send it to myself and just don't open it. And you just go get it certified mail and you send it and you just don't open it. So, but if something ever happens, like if someone was to take your songs, you could use that in court.
So you got all your songs stacked inside a stack, like in envelopes you ain't open.
No. I used to though. No, I used to do that.
Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, I still got a couple of envelopes somewhere. But nah. I used to do that. I don't do it now because with ASCAP you just register with them and they keep it.
Right.
And with Universal, like they're really good at tracking it. Trust me, they know where it's at.
Okay, so Disturbia. Let's go into when you connected with Rihanna and you decided to do that, because that song played everywhere, all around the world. That's a hit. That was a great hit. Let's talk about that process, how you got the project, and let's get into that first.
Of course, met Rihanna through Chris.
Right.
It was like earlier on both of their careers, and that's funny. That song was really like a freestyle itself. Like, we didn't really write it. Like, I just went in the booth and was like, the first thing I said was "no more gas in the red," and the rest, we pretty much it kind of like wrote itself.
Oh, wow.
Between me, Chris, her, and Rob A. And actually, what's funny? It wasn't even written for her. It was written for Britney Spears, actually.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it wasn't her. Rihanna just happen to come in while we were recording, and I remember Chris was like blowing it up, like, "Yo, like, watch, like, he's gonna spaz, like, Dre's dope, like, watch, he gonna go in there." And so I'm like, "Well, I gotta do it. I gotta watch."
Was it pressure?
Yeah, it wasn't pressure. It was more like kind of like I wanted that moment because I was like, I'm gonna show them how bad I am.
So that was a moment.
Yeah,
and you knew that was a moment.
I knew. I remember when I laid the first vocal, I was like, yeah, it is special. So you have those moments, which you don't have them a lot, but when you do, it's awesome.
Right, that's awesome. Okay, and so now you get in the booth and things start flowing, and she walks in and says, "Oh, I like it." What happens?
She lost it. She was like, "I love this." I mean, I can't use all the
right.
She was using, but she was like, "I'm freaking love this song." And,
right.
And I got this, and she's like, "Whose song is this? Whose song is this for?" And it was like, "We're doing it for Britney." She's like, "No, this is my song."
Right.
Yeah, this is mine. No, this is mine. And she's like, "No, I'm not playing." And I remember she called her label right then, like, "Yo, can we get the money so we can pay for the song and this and that?" And
what are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Okay, you meet the moment, and now she's saying, "I love it." What are you thinking?
It was just surreal. I was just looking like you. There's no thinking. I was just looking like she gonna take the song. This is crazy. Like, you just sit there. It's like one of them things where you kind of like at that moment you're like, I'm the man.
Right. So now in this songwriting industry, you have several moments. You have a big moment when a big artist takes a song, and then you have a big moment when an artist actually puts it on their CD, and then you actually have a big moment when it actually gets an award or it actually gets some prestige. So take us to that part because of course this was a global success.
Yeah.
How does this feel? Something that you freestyled that came off of your brain that's a global success. How is that for you? I
mean, it's amazing. It kind of like validates everything that you've been working for. It makes up for all the worrying and the especially to go number one in the world like that because at that moment you're the best. Like, you've done it. When you're no higher than number one. So. Once you number one, I mean, what can that's for the haters. At that point, you're like, oh, well, I guess, all the people that didn't say that you were that good or you just whatever, and at that point you can just be like, well, whatever, like what Whoopi say in The Color Purple, I may be black, I may be ugly, but I'm here. I'm here.
Right. Okay.
So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's just validation. It kind of gives you that you know, that exhale, so you can, and then you just get back to going and try to do another one.
Right now, so is that now that's what I want to know. Because you hear some artists that say, no, I just get in the studio and it just flows, and they hit after hit after hit after hit. Do you have to try to make a hit, or does it just flow?
You have to try. I mean, if the ones that it just flow from, I'm like, wow, it's funny how it's flowing, and there's like 18 people writing on this song. But,
Right.
but it's like, I feel like for each his own. Like,
Right.
if you go in there, I know writers, some writers that can go in there, and I'm like, wow, this is a smash. You know, and then I know, you know, but I've also been in there where I'm like, it wasn't a bad song, but it's definitely not a smash.
Right.
You know, so I feel like, but then some people just, you know, they say whatever gets you to that moment. I don't think every song I write is a smash. I think I have I can do great music whenever though. I feel like pretty much anything that I do is gonna be pretty good. It won't be whack. It won't be something like, ooh, this is horrible. But I know the thing about it is, like, you have to know yourself. Like, I can tell myself, like, it's a good song, but it's not a smash. You know, but I can tell something when I'm like, yo, this is a smash. Like, you got it. This is it. Yeah.
So now let's go. You went to the part of your life where you were broke. You were homeless, driving a school bus. You went through that, and you have arrived, and you have put yourself in a better position. What is the best thing about having money when you don't? In your opinion, what's the best thing about having it?
For me, I think the best thing for me having money is being able to help my family. I think that's more so to me. Like, I mean, even when I worked, even before Andre Merritt, the songwriter, like, I wasn't like dirt poor. You know, I had a little. So
you know how to get out there and make some money.
Yeah, you know, I do a little something. So you know, I could dress decent and stuff. So I wasn't really like deprived, but like to be able to do things like travel or take my mom, you know, to a nice restaurant for her birthday, or, you know, just help out my family with bills and stuff like that. That's real stuff. That's like real life situations versus buying a chain or a car or something that I don't need. You know, really, I think being able to help my family or just helping people in general,
right? You
know, that's the best part for me. Like, I can always buy me stuff. Like, that's fine. But to be able to change somebody, like, you know, it's one thing to be able to buy some nice shoes and a shirt, and then it's another thing to be able to save somebody's car from being repossessed.
Right.
You know,
right. Our house, or being able to give them something.
Yeah, okay. That's a little bit more for me.
So your first big check, because I take you back to Honey, right? Blew it. I remember when Honey, off the movie Honey, when she opened up that check in the mail from getting that dancing gig when she did the commercial, she opened the check and it was like $10,000 like that. She was like, oh my God, because she was struggling a little bit. What was that like for you to get that first residual?
I was screaming. I had never seen that many numbers behind my name. I was like, that's my name? That's my name. And that's the real price.
Did you cry?
Nah, I ain't cry. What
you
no
didn't
crying.
get no tears, overwhelming,
no tears.
exciting, like
no tears at all.
No,
it was no tears. It was no tears that day. It was all smiles, all teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, it was no. I was just like, wow. It was kind of like, you know what? I was like, I just want to go cash it to see if they really gonna give it to me.
Oh, you had to wait 10 days.
Nah, we got that thing.
You got that thing right there?
We got that thing cleared. Nah, ain't no wait. We gonna get this thing on.
Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Okay, I can dig that. So now, when you're like, are you the type of person when it comes down to the creative process? Do you keep a notepad by your bed and like wake up with like a dream and say, "Oh my goodness," or go to the bathroom and you get like an idea for a verse or a hook? How does that work with you?
Nah, I'm not the. I used to be the notepad. Like when I was in high school and like grade school, I was the notepad. Because, you know, I didn't have like a computer and all that. But as I started to get older and progress, it started being voice notes more so. Okay. So I have voice, which is like the dreaded voice. It's so funny because I was going to Instagram that the other day. I was like, or Facebook, what other writers cringe when they hear their voice notes? Because at that moment it's raw. So you want to, you know, get it out, and sometimes you just, you know, it might not come out the way you hear. Right. You know in your head, but it'll be like, it'll be yelling and all that because you have to give that emotion that you're feeling it, but it don't always work. So like a lot of times it's funny, like when I'm writing, I'll try to listen to my voice notes real low because I don't want nobody to hear. I'll be like, what was that? I'll be like, oh my God. And if it comes on like loud, I'll be like, oh God, I hope nobody don't hear that. Sounding crazy on here.
Right,
you know, so I'm more of a voice note type of, or my voicemail type of thing like that, where I'll do that. And most of the time I type, but sometimes just if I want, I'll write with a pen just because I want to do that and be different, you know, so.
So with success, of course, there's always that part that people don't realize, which is the drama. How do you handle that? Because, of course, now that you're highlighted out there and people know who you are, there's going to be its courses of comments. They may like your stuff. They may not like their stuff. They may like you. They may not like you. How do you transition from one day being, you know, just Andre Merritt, and then the next day being the songwriter that works with these celebrities, Andre, like the Andre Merritt, and then your life being open to people to criticize? How is that for you? How has that been?
That's probably like the hardest part sometimes. Because like I said, you go through, just because you have a #1 song or you have success, it doesn't make it easier. It gets harder, and it which means that when you were Andre Merritt, no one knew, where there's no publications, to going to someone where there is publications, where people actually care, where magazines want to know, where they want to, you know what I'm saying? It's a different thing, because that brings attention. And
Right.
I mean, people like to be around people that are doing stuff, you know, positive, or doing stuff that they like to do. So a lot of times you get personalities and characters that aren't necessarily good for you.
Right.
And people, you get people from all walks of life. Like, it's some crazy people.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, that you're like, wow, you seem so normal.
Wow.
And then they're not, you know, and so you have to, and then people make up stuff about you. They say like, because you're putting yourself on display.
Right.
You know, and so that means that they can say whatever they want.
That's right.
You know, and it's so crazy because it's amazing to me how people believe everything that's either on TV or that they read or that it's funny. Like, if you get enough people to say, oh yeah, Brookshire burns down houses at 8 o'clock.
And he's joking,
and
everyone.
and he's an arsonist.
He's right.
Yeah, you know, but if you get it, they're like, dang, Brookshire be burning down people's houses? You're like,
Right.
no, like, nah. And so people, like, you have to deal with that a lot, and you get a lot of time. You know, you get a lot of people that are somewhat jealous.
Right.
You know, they feel like you've changed because you don't hang out as much as you used to, or you don't hang out with a lot of the friends that you used to, or go to the same places. But what they don't understand is that it's not. You're not. Evolution is. I mean, it's
That
natural.
happens.
It
Right.
has to happen. Whether you know, and even if you don't do music, like, you have to change. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, just a regular person you can hang around with. Like, if you're a drug dealer and you change your life and you're not a drug dealer anymore, you can't go back and start hanging around with drug dealers, because then
Right.
what you gonna do?
You gonna get yourself.
You see what I'm saying?
birds
So,
of a feather.
but a lot of people just they don't understand that. They look at it as though you're better than them, and I'm like,
Right.
nah. I don't look at it. If that's the case, I was better than you before I started doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's highlighted now.
Right.
That other people seem to think the same thing I think.
Right.
You know, so that's what it. You know, it never gets easy, but at the same time, you get used to it, and you understand. And what it does to me is, it just fuels me to do more. Like, to do more. I'm like, if you're gonna hate, you hating anyway. So I might as well just be great. Give you something really great to hate on.
Right.
Yeah.
And what about the genuineness of individuals that come along? Like, you know, being that you have, you know, the success that you have, how can you tell if someone is genuinely for you versus for what you have to offer?
It's hard. I mean, there's some great actors out there.
Right.
Like,
And they don't even think, they probably know sometimes.
They probably think I was being real.
Right.
You know, and you know, and they not, you know. But, you know, you got to have a good system. I have a good support system, like my best friend and friend. I have good, you know, and people that's real with you. Like, I have friends that'll tell me, like, yo, I don't know about them. Or,
Right.
and even with my work, you know, they're like, I like it, it's cool, you know. And I take it into consideration. Sometimes they right, sometimes they wrong, sometimes I'm right, sometimes they wrong.
Right.
But at the end of the day, your foundation has to be strong. So I feel like, as long as my foundation of friends is good and family, then the people that come in and out is whatever. Like, you either there for a reason or for a season. You know, either way it go. Like, I'm either gonna learn from it or we gonna grow together.
I can dig that. Now, not too long ago, you had actually released a free download album that you just wanted to give to the fans, to the people. Tell us what inspired this album.
Electric City.
Yes.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. I don't even know what inspired it.
Like you just say, I'm gonna go do like all these tracks. I'm just gonna give it to y'all.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The producers I work with one set of producers. The guys by the name of Agent X.
Mm-hmm.
They're European producers from London. They're also DJs over there. But they sent me some tracks. They really just wanted. It was their idea.
Right.
I wasn't really gung ho on it when I first heard. I was like, I'm like, a mixtape for what?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, so they sent me like 80 tracks.
Oh wow.
And I sat down with my manager at the time, and we just went through tracks and was like, I was like, I like this one, 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 I like this one. And I was like, it's cool. So we had about 15 tracks, and I was like, we're probably gonna narrow it down from the 70 that we had. And I just sat there and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do it, it's gotta make sense for me. And I came up with like a concept, and I was like, all these songs sound so like, futuristic, these tracks and all this. So I'm like, I think we should I'm gonna call it like Electric City. And I was like, and every song will have something to do with, the city. The city was basically, my life and what I've seen throughout the industry and throughout, just being in it. So I just used, everyday scenarios, but made them into like each song had like a meaning, like shock.
Right.
Shock was about someone, you didn't think that someone would do something to you that like that, and so it shocked you. And you have like Street Lights, which was like a song where you're basically telling the person that you love or you care about, like, you better come home before the street lights come on, because like how your mom used to say that, you want them to,
right.
And so it was just like stuff like that, and it just grew into something like that I didn't even know it was gonna do, like, and a lot of people really liked it, like a lot of people, it shocked me because I didn't really do a lot of promotion for it. I just basically put it out there, and that was like 2 years ago.
Now, how many tracks did you originally do? And then I know it's only 9-10 tracks on it.
Yeah.
And how many did you actually record?
I did like 20.
So you did 20. Now, how do you do 20? How do you know these are gonna be it? And we got about 5-6 minutes. We're gonna be wrapping. I'm gonna be throwing questions at you real quick.
Okay.
How do you know these are it?
You just how they sit next to each other. Like if they feel good, I just go by feeling. If they feel good, I'm like, oh, that should go there. Oh, I like that. Oh, that makes sense. It goes here. Oh,
so you tell the story once you have the tracks.
Yeah. And just sit there and play some based on how you want it to be told. So,
is there a formula to this music business? Is there a formula? I've heard that there isn't. I've heard that there is. Is there a formula?
I mean, it depends on the person. I feel like no. No. There's no formula. It's just pray, work hard, and pray some more.
Yeah.
And work hard.
And
harder.
work hard.
And that's pretty much what it is. I mean, I feel like if you keep doing it, eventually, and you're good enough at it, eventually you're gonna find your way.
Something's gonna bust. So let's talk about your faith. How important has your faith and spirituality been for you in this process of getting where you are?
Oh man, it's been a lot. Sometimes, I've had those days where the only person you can call on is your
good
faith.
Lord.
And so I always do that. I talk to, I don't know people's religious thing, but I'm a Christian, and I talk to God all the time. I mean, like as if he be there, but he is. So I feel like that's my solitude. Like if you don't, because it's just sometimes you have stuff that you can't go to anybody, not even your mom or your dad or your brother or your friend. You just want to deal with it on your own,
right.
and only let it be between you and God, which I feel like is fine. I mean, I think that's what He'd rather you do anyway.
Right. So, take it to Jesus.
I feel like your faith, whatever it may be,
right,
is very, that should be your home base.
That should be your home base. How do you define success? And are you successful?
I'm successful. I believe it. I feel like your success is defined by happiness to me. I feel like if you're happy, no matter what you're doing, you're successful. Because if you're happy, that means that things are going pretty well anyway. And even if they're not, you're okay with it until it is. So if you're happy, I feel like you're being successful.
And now, what about fame? Do you want to be famous? Are you famous? Do you want to be left as somebody
I don't
that's
think
a
I'm
famous writer, singer? Like, what is it for you? And what is it
I'm
look
more
like?
notorious. Like,
Right.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm more notorious. I ain't really famous. No, I'm just not. You know, I never really wanted fame, so to speak. I think I wanted more acceptance and acknowledgement more so. I want you to respect what I do. If fame comes with it, then that's cool. But I don't look at myself like I want to be famous. Like I want people to, because I feel like I've always been a person that's had attention and I've never had to seek it. I feel like people who want fame is someone who's missing something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I can dig that. Do you know your purpose? Like, is this your? Are you in your purpose? Is this it?
I feel like it's part of my purpose. I don't know if it's my full purpose yet. I think it's still being written.
Huh.
So I'm in my purpose, more so knowing it. I'm in it.
You're in it.
Yeah.
How do you own and nurture your dreams? How have you done that?
Own and nurture my dreams. Just like I said, by doing what makes me happy, and doing, and not losing the love for what I do. I feel like if it ever gets to a point where it becomes too much to do it, then I would stop. Because I feel like my sanity is worth more than anything. You like, I can't go crazy. I ain't helping nobody that way.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Songs ain't gonna sound right either.
Yeah, ain't gonna sound.
I heard some crazy songs.
Yeah, you going through it, huh?
Right. Now I'm gonna ask you a couple more because we're gonna be wrapping this up. People, because you hear this a lot. People writing and doing things and recording albums under some sort of influence, drug influence, drinking influence, whatever the case may be. What is your opinion on the creative process when it comes down to other substances coming in your opinion?
I don't. If you need a substance to create, you shouldn't be creating. Like you should. I mean, whether you like to drink or whatever you are into, your vice or what your thing is, I feel like that shit has your art should be pure.
Right.
It should have been there before the drinks got there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to have a drink and celebrate afterwards, we did a great song. Let's have some champagne or some drinks or whatever. Then that's fine. But if you need that to start, then I mean, what's gonna happen eventually? That's gonna play out too. Then what you gonna do?
I can dig that. Now you give back. Now you're in the process of getting ready to start doing some seminars. And tell us about that.
Yeah. So I came up with this idea of like, man, you know what? A lot of people, always are asking me pointers and different stuff, and just, and they want to know from me because I've done it, and and it's like it's hard to get to a lot of people. So I say, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do like a seminar and do like a little small like U.S. tour where I go to different places and speak on how to write a song, how to start a song, how to do this, how to know when you're and I thought it would be dope, for people, even people that are already that are in the business that are writing songs, but I mean everybody needs it,
right?
To sit there and it's like a kind of like a collaboration type of thing where I go to different colleges and schools and events and and do like a 2-hour seminar, and so we're just getting stuff lined up. It's still in the beginning process. Yeah, but
everything.
It's moving along quite well. I'm getting a really good response quickly. I'm like, wow, okay.
Okay, so. And so people will come to this seminar, and it'll be, the vision is how many, would it be like just a 2-hour seminar, and they'll leave with being able to take what with them?
They'll leave with being able to know, like, knowing how to write a hit song. I say like hit songs or like really catchy songs, how to challenge your songwriting, sometimes, because I had to learn that myself, like challenging your songwriting. Like sometimes it'll be good, but sometimes you want to get a little past good and get to great.
Right.
And so that's what that's what they'll leave with, that and a couple of little tricks of the trade, little secrets, how to get different, manipulate your voice to do stuff, how to say, so different things like that.
Okay, so now we're gonna be wrapping this up, man, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate you so much for coming in and actually being so candid. Tell us, what is it that you know for sure? What is it that you know for sure for the audience out there? You've did this life, you've had a lot of stories, you've had the ups, the downs, and there's gonna be so many people in the future that's gonna watch this. What is it that you know for sure that you would give back to the audience?
As far as an artist or
artist, life, this entertainment industry, what would you give back as a nugget that you know for sure that you would tell to somebody that's watching that may want to do what you do or looking for a bit of encouragement? What would you tell them?
One thing that I feel like I would do and I continue to do, and what I want to do for people is I want to. My way of giving back is what I looked for when I was first starting, and that was somebody to just let me know if I'm going in the right direction, and somebody who I look up to actually stopping and caring about if I'm doing it right, or just giving back, because that's more valuable than anything that I could ever do, is to actually tell you like, this is, you're doing good, like keep going, like you're doing it. Like I'll listen to, I used to, when you're moving fast, it's like someone give you a CD, like I don't want to listen to that CD, I'm trying to get myself going.
Right.
But I had to, as I got more into the business, I had to realize that, I feel obligated to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So I had to. That's what I want to give back, and that's I think that's the most invaluable thing I can give someone, is to let them know that like you can do it, and this is what you have to do. Like you might not be that great now, but you can be better. It just depends on how hard you want to work for it. And you might not have all the resources, but you can get them. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think I would give any artist, and I would always tell somebody, hey, you're doing it right, or you might need a little more work.
All right, right.
And all that.
I can dig that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and before I leave, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
The website that you can go to.
Definitely how we check you out.
It's www.writehitslikethis.com. www.writehitslikethis.com. Right hits like this, and that'll give you the information on the seminars and what I'll be doing and where I'll be going, giving you dates. And hopefully, I love to see everybody out there, all the new, and that's what I like too about doing stuff like this, is I get to see the new talent. I get to see the new life, the more creative, because like that's another thing that social networking has done, is it's better kids, and the kids are getting younger and they're better. I seen some kid that was like 12 and he plays guitar and he sings, and I'm like, man, at 12 I ain't know nothing about it. So I'm ready to see these people. I'm ready to see the moms, the aunts, the moms who thought that they couldn't write songs, come out. The dads who used to sing, who think that they gave everything to their sons and their daughters, come out.
So it don't got no age on writing.
It has no age. No, you could be 40 years old and write a hit song.
Right.
It doesn't matter, and you can still do. And you can still do it. It's
and
not
do you need a manager or an agent to be a part
all
of it,
you
so
need,
you can?
No, it's creativity.
Yep. And now, when you have one, is it? Is there a time to get one? And that's just really quick. Is there a time when you should have that creative team?
When you get a placement, that first placement, you should start looking. If you know that it's about to come out, you should start looking for management and seeing, who can help take your career to the next step.
I can dig that, man. We just want to thank you so much, brother, for coming into this station with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's just for being so candid with us. So we thank you so much for that. And again, make sure you come back whenever. I know you have a new project coming out pretty soon that we want to definitely be able to debut with you. So make sure you connect that with us. And we thank you so much for coming on the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. We appreciate you, brother. And then again, to all my people out there, to all my folks, y'all know I love you, right? Y'all know I love you so very much. And like I always do, remember where your mind goes. Remember where your mind goes, folks, your body will follow. Remember where your mind goes, your body will follow. There's always another you. There's always another you on the other side of whatever you're going through. Always bigger, stronger, and better because you've been through it. So reach with both hands to pull yourself up to the next level. Until next week, I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire. I love all of you. Stay tuned with us every Sunday right here at 6 p.m. Google us. Check us out. I love y'all. And definitely make sure y'all Twitter us. Keep the conversation going. Until next week, we'll holla.
All right.